Brett Gelman is the funniest villain there ever was in Hollywood, and nope, we won't in Hollywood. But from his recent comments, it looks like he's trying to rebrand. And if you've seen the photographs from his latest shoot, you kinda get the idea of where he's trying to go, and honestly, we're not complaining. So today we're going to take you through what goes on in Murray Bauman's fascinating mind. Spoiler alert, sexy Gelman is in town. First up, he wants to be a leading man. Gelman's been in the business for quite some time now, but it wasn't until Fleabag and Lemon that he really got his big break. But then again, the dilemma for a lot of actors is that once they do something flawlessly for the first time, they keep getting similar roles for the rest of their careers.
Are you there? Talk to me, Joyce! Joyce!
The same goes for our guy Gelman. He has this ability to play a villain but also make it somehow cringy and funny, but most importantly, terrifyingly relatable. Both Lemon and Fleabag are examples of that, aren't they? Fleabag's Martin was disgusting, but his screen time was always worth it and almost always funny in a weird, awkward way. But now he says no more. He wants to take on some major leading roles, and not just any leading role, he wants to be a sexy one at that. He said to himself, he wants to be someone that people will want to have with or marry. Listen, we don't know about you, but we think he's got what it takes. Just look at the pictures from the latest photo shoot. Like, sir, what in the world is that ice-cold stare? Also, we don't think he'll struggle too much with this new passion of his. He's a terrific writer after all, and if all else goes south, he could just write the sexy leading man he wants to be, right? Following up, everybody doesn't want a Chris. He also speaks about why it's taking him so long to start being a sexy leading man, and he thinks the problem is the standards of hotness the industry has these days. According to him, he's better off in the 1970s Hollywood, where male leads were allowed to be a little banged up and a little untidy. These days, the industry only prefers the perfect chiseled faces and lush locks, and of course, a six-pack does wonders as well.
Well, I hope you didn't come all this way to tell me about the bear in the Harrington kid's backyard. I've heard that one already.
Gelman believes this can't be the taste of absolutely every person in the audience, and still, this is the only male lead we're promoting, or as he put it, not everyone wants a Chris. And clearly, he's no Chris. No offense to the Chris's. He brings a kind of receding hairline vibe to Hollywood that the big franchise executives don't really appreciate, not as a lead at least. But that doesn't bother him. He knows he's an absolute force and will find his way to the very top one way or another. Be prepared, Chris's of Hollywood, he's coming to give you a run for your money. And honestly, he's got a point. The female beauty standards in pop culture are absolutely brutal, but the male standards also keep getting harder to achieve. So yeah, man, louder for the people in the back, please. We already stand sexy main man Brett. Coming up, he thinks discrimination might be a factor.
Nancy Wheeler, Jonathan Byers, you two are a long way from home.
Gelman is proud of his Jewish identity, and when he was speaking about his place in Hollywood, he spoke about this subject as well. He said he wonders if the reason he keeps getting supporting characters or characters that are sick in some way is because of his Jewish identity. He says anti-Semitism might be something to consider here. His point was that maybe because he's a Jew, people just look at him as a flawed character and go, yuck. I love him, but yuck. He says maybe if a non-Jewish person was playing the same characters, the audience might think of them as complicated instead of like, this is a disgusting guy, he's interesting, but he's disgusting. Or maybe they find his sick characters convincing because they believe that's how they're supposed to be because of the anti-Semitic lens. So that's definitely something to think about because you can't deny how deep the Jewish stereotypes go in Hollywood. Well, sexy Brett, we're rooting for you. We're all rooting for you. And if someone hurt your feelings, let us know. We just want to talk. Here's another reason he plays like characters. If you've seen anything with Brett Gelman in it, you know nobody is doing it like this guy. And no, it's not just about the comedy aspect. It's also about how he could be annoying and likable at the same time. And listen, we stand a self-aware king. Remember how we talked about the trouble actors have to face after doing a particular job really well? Well, we know we're not wrong because Gelman kind of agrees too. He says that he realizes he's able to bring a certain humanity and life to the roles he plays, something he thinks is responsible for him being cast over and over again for roles with similar undertones. And he's right. He really brings something special to the weird people he portrays. You don't love them, but you kind of get where they're coming from. This is a dangerous thing to say about a villain, but that is this man's talent. He'll make you say it. Up next, his thoughts on flawed characters. He's well aware of his talent for playing the perfect, messy, and funny bad guy. And don't be mistaken, just because he's looking to give the Chris his competition in the appeal department doesn't mean he's stopped appreciating his niche. In fact, he believes the bad guys don't get enough credit. According to him, it doesn't make sense that the audiences don't want to see any flawed, absolutely sick men on screen anymore. He thinks this narrative is just plain false. And predictably, he thinks there should be more stories of despicable men on screen. The way he sees it, movies should give more room for the sickos to be sickos. You're probably wondering why he said that, and worry not, this man doesn't leave anything unsaid. And once again, he's got a point. Gelman said that portraying perfect and flawless men in the media isn't truthful because society is sick. There are despicable men who hold power in their circles and influence society as a whole, so why not tell the truth through films and TV shows? Why blind ourselves to those stories and replace them with those of heroes? And mind you, he isn't necessarily talking about the big bad villains here. He's mostly referring to how most people are bad or have tendencies to turn bad just because life can get crazy sometimes. We all make regrettable decisions and we all have hurt people too. Or as he put it, all of us are teetering at the edge of madness. So yeah, films and TV shows should reflect that too. Moving on, Gelman's revelations about himself. Say what you will about this man, but one thing is for sure, he's interesting as hell. Just his outlook on being a celebrity is so different from any of the other celebrities out there. He revealed that he likes the paparazzi attention he gets. Yeah, you don't normally hear that from a famous person, do you? He said he realizes that the journalists that follow him or show up everywhere he goes aren't there for annoying him, and this is what all celebrities believe. But even if their purpose is to annoy Brett, he doesn't mind it. Why? Well, he says he deserves it because he's the most annoying person on the face of the planet. Don't look at us, he said it himself. There's another thing that's different about him than most other celebrities. He's never trying to keep his life to himself. We're sure he desires privacy, but he also doesn't mind sharing details and interesting stories from his life and about his personality, and that's kind of cool. Gelman also talked about mental health. He's in therapy himself and considers therapy a lifelong practice just like physical exercise. If consistent exercise maintains physical health, then consistent therapy does the same for mental health. Oh, and also he became the second person after Jughead Jones to say, "I'm a weirdo." No, he really said it. He sees himself as a misfit and a weirdo, but don't worry, he isn't mad about it. He says he's proud of being this way because it's actually the misfits who are able to see truth in the world with nothing blinding their vision. Lastly, let's talk about Gelman's projects. The devil works hard, but Brett Gelman works harder, and with over 100 IMDb credits, let's take a look at his future projects. First, there's the 2023 film Boy Kills World. Not much is known about the characters yet, so we can't say who Brett will be playing, only that he's listed in the film's cast on its IMDb profile. But you know what? Considering it's a dystopian action thriller, our wild guess is that he'll probably play another mysterious, messy guy. And we can't wait to see it. The story revolves around the lead boy played by Bill Skarsgård, whose entire family was murdered. What's interesting is that boy was also trained by a mentor in the jungle, so sort of Tarzan meets murder and revenge. Sounds good. We also have Surrounded to look forward to. This is a movie about a female Buffalo soldier's mission to claim a gold mine. The catch? She is disguised as a man and must protect her gang from a dangerous person. Brett's playing a character called Mr. Fields. Now for Murray Bauman, his fingers are like arrows, his arms like iron, and his feet like spears. Sadly, we can't say that season 5 of Stranger Things will be out in 2023. We'll most likely get to see it in 2024 or something. The actor revealed that he doesn't know what the fate of his character will be because the Duffer Brothers are very secretive about everything, and he doesn't press them for information a lot, but he sure hopes that he'll survive. And honestly, same. Murray Bauman must be protected. He must live. That's a wrap for this video. What kind of roles do you want to see Brett Gelman in? And is sexy Gelman something you can get behind? Also, what are your top 3 favorite Gelman characters? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a like and a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.
I have karate from 1 to 3 on Fridays.